FaceTime.plist.
Yeah, delete. You've quit. Let's quit FaceTime. Yeah.
Okay.
Oops, sorry.
It's all right. All right. So get rid of the P list.
And then check your time zone. Make sure that's right, just to be safe. Is correct. Okay. So far, all your answers are wrong. You're not using a phone number. Go to appleid.apple.com and log in with your ID. Make sure that both people are using the current version. Well, that's your machine. Since you're not actually trying to call somebody at the moment, you're trying to log in. One of those crazy problems where there's no quick answer. We have fast enough internet.
What's this? It's a new Apple FaceTime.bag.plist.
I don't know. Delete it.
Yeah, I think so.
Apple.FaceTime.bag.plist. That's where you put all your faces in a bag. Yeah, delete the bag. Delete. How about iMessage? Can you log into iMessage? Because iMessage and FaceTime are linked.
Yes.
So iMessage lets you send text messages, and you can also send pictures. You can also send audio. So there's kind of an overlap between iMessage and FaceTime.
Right, here's my messages.
So you are logged in and running?
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is.
Send something.
Only to other Macs.
Correct. Yes, correct. There is a way to send a message to a cell phone through the text system, but it's a little tricky. Check your. There you go.
It says it's not enabled.
Not enabled. So enable account. So that's probably why you can't activate it in FaceTime. In FaceTime either. So he had to enable his account in Messages.
But it says the password needs to be updated. So what does it want me to do at this point? Am I giving it a new one?
No, enter your password. So did you change your Apple ID password recently?
No.
The message makes me think you did. Yeah, so you have to put your current password in.
All right. Let's see what happens.
And no, it didn't fill it in there. That's interesting. Oops.
All right, so I'll try to put it in there.
So this is riveting for everybody else.
Unfortunately.
In the meantime, can you?
Sure. Yep.
Talk about.
I'm getting the same error as before.
Generally, extensions you never have to deal with are hidden by the operating system. Occasionally, when you install a third-party program, it will install an extension that, if you uninstall that program, you often have to manually remove. But most of the time, the uninstallers will take them out as well.
It just said it's part of the system preferences, and whether I was supposed to be adding something somewhere. It doesn't give you that opportunity, but it says you have not installed any extensions, and so I assumed it was an option at some point. But I didn't know why.
Well, weren't extensions different? Like, there used to be a lot of them, and they said
I keep hearing
You're
this
getting
here.
rid of extensions.
Yeah, extensions are a way to extend the functionality of the computer by adding new features. So third-party companies will write these extensions to make it do things. It's problematic because every new operating system comes out, changes things, and the extensions quit working. So in the olden days of System 6 and System 7, extension conflicts were rampant, and almost all the computer problems could be traced to an incompatible extension. So most of the time now the companies don't bother making extensions anymore. Things in the package in the program are part of the program, and they're not considered an extension anymore. Now I do have a couple of third-party extensions loaded, Dropbox and Google Drive, so that when I'm in a program, I'm in TextEdit, I want to save a file, it has an option to save it to my Google Drive. But there is a potential that these extensions are incompatible when a system update comes out. And so that's why you have this list of extensions you can turn off to see if that's what's causing the problem you're having right now. Plugins generally refer to internet features, and extensions generally refer to system features.
Should I be using Bonjour?
Bonjour is an ad hoc network for people physically near you on the same network.
That's kind of what Carol and I are doing.
Yeah.
And maybe that's the way I
So
used
you
to
could
do
set
it.
up Bonjour. You don't need to have an account with a service to do Bonjour between several devices in the same room.
Yeah,
So I have
that's
Bonjour
different,
turned
yeah.
on so you can talk to me.
All right.
Right, but that's only audio, right? Bonjour.
Well, it's audio and video. Bonjour itself is a network discovery protocol. So I can let me bring up my messages again. No, missed. So if I turn on my Bonjour window, I have to turn it on in messages. So I'm logged into my Apple ID. So this list is all my Apple ID, and now I'm also getting the Bonjour list. So Apple's tried to make it convenient by throwing all your conversations into one window. But by using Bonjour, it's just computers on the same network. You don't have to log into a service. So that's common in office situations where you don't have a messaging server in the middle. Everyone can just use Bonjour to find each other.
I used to use that at daycare.
Yep.
Talk to different classrooms.
Okay.
So that shows that your messaging service by itself is working.
Okay, so can I do FaceTime the same way is the next question.
No, I don't think FaceTime will work over Bonjour.
You're probably right. Yeah,
And you can't get in there.
Correct.
Go to Safari and try going to appleid.apple.com and see if that lets you in. So system preferences, a lot of things in there. Wrong button.
Did you say Apple ID?
Appleid.apple. No W's. Appleid.apple.com. System preferences generally you never go into after you set everything up once. So you set your screensaver. Some people might want to change your screensaver now and then. Fix your date and time, things like that. But generally speaking, you never go back in there again unless you're troubleshooting a problem or trying to solve something.
And as an administrator, if I wanted to change my admin password at this point, I can do that?
Yes.
Okay. And once even if I set up a standard user in addition to the admin user.
You have to log into that admin user to change that admin password.
Okay, I managed to get in.
Is there anything down there about devices or security? You don't have two-factor turned on, do you?
I do not.
No, that's not on. Okay.
So what is your new Mac? Is that a laptop?
Yeah, it's a 15-inch MacBook Pro, but it's not the newest version. It's the
Wondered if maybe it wasn't working because I didn't set it to
Pre-touch bar.
pre-touch bar, right? Because I wanted USB ports, regular USB.
The old USB ports. Yep.
Correct.
We'll start seeing. We've already have, and we'll start seeing more and more computers using the new USB-C ports coming out.
I don't know if it has any USB-C ports on it.
No.
I don't know the difference.
USB-C is really tiny.
Yeah.
because the computers are so thin, there isn't room to put a big USB-A port on it.
Right. Right. And I had asked you about Apple Cider, and I had asked you about loading the latest version of iPhoto, the most recent version of iPhoto on Sierra, and I successfully did that.
Oh, good. So you got an old iPhoto running on Sierra.
It's not. It's the 9.6.
961, yeah, the last version of
Last
iPhoto.
version.
Yep.
To enable me to, I hope, to look at some of my old iPhoto libraries before eventually migrating to Photos.
Yep. Now, the Photos app will read and convert your old iPhoto libraries into its new format when you're ready for it.
Right. And the issue there was all of my photos are in iPhoto. I use the image number, the one that was assigned to the camera,
Mm-hmm.
plus a name that I give it, in this case a bird name, and that's the file, that's the data that does not show up under the pictures in Photos.
You can turn that on
Okay.
somewhere. Let's see, title, keyword, file. I'm looking for photo name.
I have one migrated library, and I can see that in Photos, and some of the old.
Oh, they are, yep.
Some
They
of
only,
the old iPhotos does show that name.
it only shows you the name when you point to that photo. So right now, that photo is untitled.
Which is not helpful.
Yeah.
When I'm
If I point to the photo, it shows me the name. Now, if they're titled, do they?
Also, they're pixelated when you load them up.
Well, that means you're missing the high-res version.
Okay, how do I get that?
Go back to wherever it came from and re-import it.
The original photograph.
Yes.
So that means that iPhoto didn't import, or Photos did not import the original.
They weren't there to be imported.
They had to.
They might have been a broken link inside the iPhoto library.
So I have to rebuild my iPhoto libraries, possibly to make sure that I have originals.
Right.
Could be.
Rebuild or repair?
Start with repair, and if that doesn't work, rebuild.
Okay.
So it is a hold down Option or Command
Right.
or Option and Command, one of them.
Kind of, one thing I read said rebuild first and then repair as a last resort, but maybe
I would say repair would be first. Rebuild sounds more involved.
Yeah, because it's
Do
rebuilding
you have
the
these on
library.
two different machines? You got a
I have
desktop
my old iPhotos on my old MacBook.
on both laptops.
Well, I haven't done anything.
Try again now that you're
My
into.
husband
Oh no, you're not
has
into
Sierra on
messages.
his
But try again now.
So I tested
So-
one of my libraries on his before doing any, because I have a backup of that library before doing anything here. Between the iPhoto version and the Photos version.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I missed.
Aw. I'm glad you were able to come and we could answer your questions.
Thank you very much.
Yep.
I appreciate it.
Sure.
It's been a big help, especially with just getting through those admin business.
Sure, no problem.
Very helpful. Thank you.
All right. Yep.
Maybe I'll catch you next time.
All right. Maybe your password's too long.
Is that possible?
Yes, but I wouldn't have expected that from Apple.
Yep, same thing. An error occurred during activation.
Yep. Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
See you again.
See if I have this. There was I thought I bookmarked it. There was a report a company did on password policies. And they went to hundreds of different, Dashlane did it, that's right. Went to hundreds of different websites and figured out their password policy. How many characters it needed to have, if if it required uppercase and lowercase, things like that. And they found a lot of companies extremely lacking. I think this is it. I had a spreadsheet, a Google Doc spreadsheet that had the list on it. There we are.
Yep.
1-800-Flowers.com allows a 2-character password.
Yeah.
So they're at least checking, because 1 character is not enough. But you can have a 2-character password.
Which is
Extra
worthless.
Extra stupid, yeah. Some companies don't have uppercase, lowercase. Some companies don't have a recovery process, which means either you can't get your password back, or it's saved in plain text at the other end, so when you call tech support, they say, here's your password. Or the recovery address emails you your password, which means it's saved in plain text, which means anybody could get to it.
But look at the score difference. Just one removed from Apple at Newegg. It's only 65%.
Yeah. They have, if I can find the spreadsheet, it had all the detail about why it was like that. There's a bit.ly link. Maybe I can find it in my history. Bit.ly. There we are. Security Now episode 441. So this is a Google sheet of all of the companies and the reason for their scores.
Huh.
So let's see, between the two, what's the difference? Newegg does not give you an on-screen password strength indicator.
Okay. Well, most of them do.
Yeah. Oh, changing your password, they allow you to use your last password.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a negative against them. No email confirmation that you did change your password. So that's one of that's the reason they scored so low. So
Okay.
it was interesting that Apple is the best of their ratings, because Apple has taken user privacy and security to heart, and they use that as a selling point. In fact, that was one of the points in FBI. The FBI iPhone unlocking case is that Apple uses security as a selling point, and they shouldn't be able to block us from getting into terrorist cell phones.
Well, that's ridiculous, your argument.
Yeah. How many other people are you getting into? All right, let's just try deleting all these. So quit everything, and
Okay.
we'll delete the FaceTime and the iMessage preference files,
Okay.
and we'll restart the computer just to be good.
Should I sign out of my Apple account?
Yeah. All right, no, and that's an interesting thing. I'm pretty sure Apple would do it. If you're logged into an account on a website, Amazon, whatever, Apple, and you quit the browser, it's possible if someone reopens the browser, you're still logged in. And it's convenient when it's your own computer, but say you're on someone else's computer, public library, that's very, very bad. So the better companies, when you close the window, will automatically log you out of the site that you're logged into.
I also clear all my history when I've been doing weird stuff like that.
Yep. So your girlfriend can't see what website you've been to. There was a video. It was a commercial with Dean Cain for Microsoft Bing commercial. And it was this Microsoft Bing when they, not Bing, Internet Explorer. When they came out with their private browsing private browsing mode on Internet Explorer, they ran these commercials. They only ran for a day or so because everyone got offended and annoying. Yeah. Let me.
Anybody have that for a minute? Sure.
Ow.
Do you suffer from OMG IGP?
or oh my god, I'm gonna puke. If you share a computer with this guy, you might. Tell him to download Internet Explorer 8. Really? And start using in-private browsing so he doesn't leave anything in the history. And you will never be surprised by Harry.com again.
Ugh.
It's quite funny, and there's like 4 or 5 of them. But basically, we jokingly call it porn mode now. So if you share your computer with someone, you don't want them to be able to hit back or look in your history and, oh my god, I'm going to puke. What was that?
All right, so I'm getting rid of my FaceTime.
FaceTime, both of them. The bag one, yep.
Come on.
Or just right click and move to trash.
So it's there.
And the iMessage P lists.
iMessage.
Yeah, iMessage and
They've got a
iMessage
bag,
bag,
too.
yep.
Does everybody have a bag?
I don't know.
It's ridiculous. It's kind of new. All right, and I will delete them. Empty the trash. Away it goes.
Empty the trash. Reboot just to be safe.
Okie dokie. I will reboot. Oh, you know what? This is fast enough. I think I'll shut down first and restart.
It's a nice thing about having a solid state based computer is restarting is so fast you don't mind doing it much
That's
anymore. Right. I still get annoyed by the feature Apple put in a few versions ago to automatically reopen your Windows when you log back in again. And it's on by default. Yes, it's a convenience, so everything you had open reopens again. Your web browser, your email, your Word file. But I'm from a time before that. When I shut down, everything quit.
That's right.
And I don't want everything to launch again the next time.
Because it might screw it up, like it did the first time.
And it takes all that much longer to do that.
Or one of those other
Yeah.
things that just won't go away.
Yep.
That's it. Each class.
And so I turn that off on everybody's machine because nobody ever pays attention to the checkbox. We get a lot of computers in there. It's really slow to boot. Well, you have 27 apps opening every time you turn the computer on. And every one of them has to open.
Yeah, I have clients that lose track of how many apps they have that they're running. And they say, oh, my computer's running so slow. And
Yeah, and you look in your dock and you see
Yeah.
every single one has a dot on it.
That's
They're all
right.
running. I thought I closed them. No. And now that's something that Windows has a little better, I think. When you close a window, it closes the app. On the Mac, that almost never happens. You close a window, the app stays running in case you want to run it again, and you want to open a window again. Mm-hmm. It's better for the computer to not keep quitting and reopening apps because it fragments the memory, among other things. But it does make it a little annoying to new users who think they quit the app when they just close the window.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now try. It says reopen FaceTime from the applications folder. It shouldn't matter that you're in the dock, but
try
go
it
to the
anyway.
applications folder. Yeah.
I'll do it correctly.
Maybe the one in the dock isn't the new one. Maybe you've got an old one somewhere.
Interesting, but I doubt it.
Yeah.
Right.
Back in the olden days when there was a clean system install option
FaceTime.
where you could reinstall the system and it moved the other one off into previous systems, the apps were all there too. And so if you had aliases to an app, it still pointed to the old app and would cause problems.
Okay, so FaceTime.
FaceTime, yeah.
There it is.
Now try logging in.
Sign in.
So it's trying.
Trying.
And trying.
And crap.
An error occurs, so it's the same error.
Yep.
It may be something at the other end.
I was wondering if maybe it's related to iCloud, the fact that I don't really have iCloud set up because I don't want it really set up. The only thing I have turned on is location services. And iCloud.
You're not logged in. Try logging into iCloud, and then if this works, you can log out of iCloud.
Okay.
So activating FaceTime for Mac. We logged into your Apple ID, so we know it's right.
And then I run into this thing.
Well, say not now. It really wants you to do two-factor.
It does.
Don't upgrade. Really want you to do two-factor. Really want you to do two-factor.
And then the other funny thing is, it turns this crap on again for me, and I turn it off. And
It's on by default.
Used
Yep.
to when I use Find My Mac, and I'll say yes, I do, and then it forces me to like turn it off.
Well, to use Find My Mac, you have to turn on location services. You can turn that stuff off so it doesn't try to sync anything you've already got.
Yeah, that's what I do. And then say next.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it says allow Find My Mac to use location of this Mac. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
So I say
allow.
allow.
Yeah.
Right, because that's the only thing I want. And notice, here everything is just fine.
So everything's off except
for
Find, which is
My
what you
Mac,
want.
Which is what you want.
Yep. Now try logging in with FaceTime.
All right. Nothing here has changed, so I should be able to just sign in.
There's reports about system updates causing issues.
Same error. Try that password again, just to make sure it's right.
Try the wrong password and it should say wrong password. Let's see, Apple's... Apple does have a system services status. Let me see if FaceTime happens to be experiencing problems now. FaceTime says it's not experiencing any problems. You're just lucky. And you're running Sierra.
Mm-hmm.
So there are people saying they are having problems. I haven't found a fix yet. Everyone keeps pointing to the general FaceTime troubleshooting, which doesn't help any. Safe boot.
Try Safe Boot, huh?
So Safe Boot is a diagnostic mode that turns off all the extensions. So maybe you have a corrupt extension.
Okay.
Go to your system preferences. Do you have any non-Apple ones? Yes, one of those might be the problem. So
Could be
do
Flip4, could be Flash Player.
probably not because I've used both of those. But do a Safe Boot and it won't load those.
Okay.
And then so if it works in Safe Boot, you know it's one of those.
Okay.
Then you got to figure out which one it is.
All right. So the Safe Boot.
Restart. Hold the Shift key down.
Hold Shift.
Yep. And since it boots so
Yes.
fast, you got to hold the Shift key pretty quick. You ever do a verbose boot on your Retina?
Yeah, it's not
So verbose boot shows you all the text messages that Unix happens during boot that the Apple screen normally hides.
Normally it's so fast that you can't read it anyway.
Right. And because on the Retina machine, that's before the high DPI drivers load, it shows it at full 2560 resolution, so the text is really, really, really tiny. Oh, here's a different tech note, maybe. No, this is an iDevice. But we did all these things anyway. Wait 24 hours and try again.
This has been going on for a couple weeks.
Yep. They were in the Ukraine and it wasn't working. It's not the Ukraine, it's just Ukraine. Apparently they're really upset by that, Ukrainian people. It's Ukraine. The country is Ukraine, not the Ukraine. So we are the United States, but we're also United States. Article, pronoun? No, article, yeah.
Articles. Yeah.
In that language.
It has to do with Russian imperialism.
Yeah.
where
And you wouldn't say the
Ukraine-
Russia.
You'd say the Midwest.
Yep.
And so if it's a subsection of Greater Russia, it's the Ukraine.
Yep.
It's like the South, the Northwest, the Ukraine.
So I'm holding down shift and it's taking
That is a
forever.
subset,
Yep,
I
it
think,
does. It's
But I
and when you
don't
get to the
understand.
login window, you can let go.
It's what the hell difference it makes.
So it doesn't load extension. It only loads standard
Ohio
system
State
fonts. It doesn't load any
University.
extra drivers
Or Ohio State University.
Why does it take so
They-
long?
because it's cleaning caches, it's clearing temp files, it's doing all this stuff
Oh,
behind the
okay.
scenes.
Why don't they tell you that it's doing all that stuff?
Well,
I mean,
you
I
get
would
a
look at this
right.
and say, this is a crash.
You get a progress bar
Yeah.
during safe boot. But they started in, is it El Cap? They give you a progress bar all the time now instead of the spinny thing.
Yeah.
So we used to say progress bar, you were in safe mode, and then we started seeing the machines always give a progress. Oh crap! What am I doing in safe mode? I'm not. Why is there a progress bar?
Yeah.
Because the spinny thing didn't tell you anything.
It's doing it. It's just moving really, really slow.
Yeah.
It's taking quite a while. Oh, good.
Now you may see your video act a little slow because it's not loading the extra video drivers.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
Yep. That's bizarre. Okay, can I let go?
Now you can let go. Yep, and log in.
Now we have a blue screen.
Yeah, it
And
didn't.
it says safe boot. That's
Yep,
nice.
says safe boot, and it didn't load your desktop picture.
Oh.
And you have to remember your username and your
Yeah.
password.
Yep. Now it's my admin password.
This is really interesting.
Fix activation errors. I keep finding. Did you have any questions, Carol or Bob?
I do, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
It's like
Let's see.
from biblical days. So if there was a newspaper, the Hebrews leave Egypt. There's three volumes of that. Okay, Twitter question.
Okay.
I
Twitter.
get in my email.
Tweet.
Okay, this is interesting.
Among other things, so let me see if I can find one.
That may be because you're not on the internet yet.
Well, it could be. I'll see it later.
I'll get emails from Twitter,
Yeah.
and it will, well, here's one specifically. It will have Twitter feeds from different people, and I can go in. I don't know that I'm following these people.
Right. Twitter.
Here's one, Kelly O'Hara. She's on the U.S. women's soccer team.
Yep.
And so she tweeted something, and they put this on this email that I got. And here's one for food for thought. I get very commonly, I get cute little animals, blah, blah, blah. But disconcerting is that I also get something from Rekha, which is an Indian girl, sending her nude or sending nude pictures. I don't even know how to, I delete that email, but
Are you sure it's an email and not
well, it's coming
a
through
Twitter
my
feed?
email messages. It's an email message.
You should be able to go into your Twitter app and tell it not to email you, and then just use the Twitter app, not email.
Where are my bookmarks coming up all the time whenever I open my browser?
You've got a preference somewhere set. Go to or on. I'll hide that. Click the bookmark button to hide the bookmark pane. It remembers that setting every time.
Oh, I see.
So at one point you turned it on and then it remembered.
Okay. Now if I get out and I try it again, it should not be.
Email. So Twitter's emailing messages rather than putting them in the tweet. Yeah. So if you log into your Twitter account, you can turn off email. So what it is, there's several things happening, Bob. I think Twitter puts things from people you don't know in your feed. as a way of trying to expand their service. Hi there. Welcome. Come on in. Yeah, if you just sign in on the sign-in sheet there. So they put stuff in your feed trying to expand their service, and companies can pay to get put into the feed. So probably that lady has paid Twitter to put an ad, and claiming it's an ad, and it's all going through some automated process, and they don't even see that it's a what some people would consider a porn ad. Especially from India, which has some really strict porn laws.
Well, it's, anyway, it's.
All right, so I can try Facebook.
I could
Try
try to
FaceTime
turn
again,
that off, but a lot of them, like Kelly O'Hara, she's on the national soccer team. I'm interested in what she says.
Yeah. So if you go to your Twitter settings, you can probably see what lists you're following. She might be on a list. Twitter may have added you to a popular list by default, without realizing that's in that Twitter list, because she probably paid for what she called an ad.
Okay, well, I'll come back to this. It's not. But the other thing I'm interested in is Cody.
Mm-hmm.
I've just become aware
So
of
is it
Cody.
KODI, is it? Yeah. It used to be XBMC, the Xbox Media Center.
My brother just bought a Fire Stick.
Yep.
And he's totally non-technical. And
Yeah.
he's amazed by, Cody's on there, and he's getting free Netflix and free movies.
Part of the so Kodi,
still in the theater.
Yeah, Kodi itself is a program you can put either on a computer, or you can get it on its own little tiny computer. You plug into your TV, and it gets internet video sources. So conceptually, it's very similar to an Apple TV or a Roku or an Amazon Fire.
And he got it on an Amazon Fire.
Yeah.
And I saw from my research I can put it on Apple TV.
It's an open source project, and people have figured out how to write it to the existing boxes. So you can put it on your Apple TV and not need to buy a separate box. The problem is, because it's open source, people can put anything on it. And so there's a lot of pirate sites that end up on it. And so that's why you're getting free movies and free Netflix, is you found, maybe inadvertently, of course, because we don't condone piracy here, you may have found a pirate source that's giving you illegal content. What generally happens is, wherever that's coming from, the content provider finds it and will shut it down, and then another site will open up again.
That's interesting. I went to the Apple App Store and typed in FaceTime to see if maybe there was an update or something. And there's actually an app that came up that says FaceTime, and it's 99 cents.
Right. The FaceTime app used to cost and didn't come with the computer. I think this is for 10.8.
Right.
Which is probably what it will say. 10.6.
Wow, is that old?
Yeah. So it didn't come with the system initially, and you had to buy it separately. Now it's built in. But I would check the App Store for update. You do have one update.
Well, that's for Xcode.
Okay.
So I know that isn't it.
So Safe Boot wasn't the problem on your FaceTime. You may have to call Apple. Delete the preference files again now that you're in Safe Boot.
Well, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah. So Kodi, the concept is good. It's like BitTorrent. The concept of BitTorrent is fine. A lot of people use BitTorrent for illegal content, and so the content providers tend to shut down BitTorrent feeds. There was a big case a few years ago where was it one of the, what's the big news organization? Not API, UPI? No. AP. Yeah, Associated Press. Yeah, he downloaded the Bible over BitTorrent, and his internet provider shut him down for copyright theft. And he said, "No, it's the Bible. It's not. It's out of
copyright on the Bible."
And so that showed that I think it was Cox at the time were blocking BitTorrent. Period, not just for illegal content, but for any content. And a lot of people use BitTorrent for perfectly legal things. The Linux distributions use it for distributing giant files. A lot of podcasters use it for giant podcast files. So BitTorrent in itself isn't illegal, but people do use it for illegal things, and so sometimes the copyright police get a little over exuberant, and so we're seeing that happen with Kodi.
Well, in the video, I saw a YouTube video on this, and the guy pulled up a movie, Revenant, and he showed that you could see it, but he quickly shut it down. He said because if he ran more than a couple seconds, the copyright of YouTube would have, cracked down on him because they're in copyrighted material.
We run into that a little bit, even in CIDER and with sound bites, is that the music that plays during the show, we have a license to play it, but on our YouTube stream, it doesn't know that, and so it automatically generates a copyright infringement problem. But we are a licensed radio station. We have the license to broadcast this music. But welcome. Did you have a question for us?
I did. Mine's kind of simple, though.
No problem.
So in every device I have, it tells me on a daily basis that I have to sign back into Apple, right? Into what do you call it? iCloud. Why don't you do that every day?
I wouldn't think it would be every day.
It's
But
literally like every day.
do you shut your device off at night or just put it to sleep?
Let it do whatever it
You
does.
talking about an iPad?
iPad and the iPad mini does it, the iPad and the iPhone.
Same here.
I know they do it every now and then to verify it's still an active account.
What does it usually say? Let's take a picture.
Just please log into your iCloud account. Let me see what other people are reporting.
Yeah, it says to continue using iCloud on, this was the iPhone, approve
Yep.
it from one of your other devices using iCloud, or enter your iCloud security code.
Oh, that's iCloud Keychain. That's not iCloud, right? Does it say iCloud Keychain? That sounds like a keychain request. And do you approve it from another device?
Sometimes I just sign into iCloud, sometimes I just ignore it.
So that's why you get it again, because you didn't follow the instructions.
But even if I follow the instructions, I get it again. And I don't use Keychain?
I'm wondering if one of your devices does have Keychain turned on, and the other ones don't, and that's why you're not getting the approval message.
That could be.
So iCloud Keychain synchronizes your passwords between your devices,
Okay.
and when you turn it on one device, it asks you to approve it from another device you already have it on, to prove it's really you turning it on. So if a
Okay.
bad guy had your phone, turned on Keychain, and it didn't ask anything, then he would get all your passwords on the phone the bad guy physically has.
Okay.
So it has to be approved on another device. And until you approve it, it keeps asking. So if you go into iCloud Keychain on each device, make sure it's all turned off, that might help too.
That would help? Okay.
Yeah,
See, so I just
And it's
tried
just-
that worked.
calling you with.
That's in here under...
Under settings, iCloud, one of the options is Keychain. It is convenient to sync your passwords once you get everything working again. In fact, that may be the way to do it. Turn it off on all your devices, your phones, your tablets, your computers. Reboot everything,
Okay.
and then turn it on one,
Okay.
and slowly build the rest of them up.
Okay.
So I tried to call you on this.
Yep,
it
and
worked
I
fine.
got it over there.
Yeah.
Call yourself. No, you can't call yourself.
So, no. You can try calling me.
And it wouldn't ring on your computer because it's not logging in.
Yeah. And the other silly thing is, when I did go into that Apple ID account that you told me to go to,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't show my computer. It showed all my other devices.
I don't think the computer is considered a device to
Okay.
Apple ID.
All right.
You've got handheld devices, you've got portable devices. Excuse me.
It's a base station.
Yeah. We've been fighting with a FaceTime problem on his computer. It won't let him log into FaceTime. But it works fine on his iPad.
iPad works.
Ooh.
iPod Touch works.
Oh, look at the video delay between because we're
Yeah.
not loading all the drivers.
Yeah.
We're in safe boot. Work, damn it, work.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've been doing.
Yeah. So I have a feeling it's the other end. You may have
think
to
it's
call.
Apple.
Yeah, you may have to call Apple.
All right. And do we have a good Apple support number these days?
800 APL CARE, APLCARE. They've apparently shut down the SOS Apple number. For the longest time, Apple's tech support
That used to
number
be- that's the one.
was SOS Apple. Now it says call Apple Care. The problem was, I think, S0S Apple is a porn line. SOS is Apple. Yeah. You could what I was telling someone once. You can dial pretty much any random 800 number and you'll find porn. Even though there's millions of companies that have 800 numbers, there's tens of millions of porn lines. For a good time, call. No, I want my computer fixed.
Well, thank you for the try. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't anything that I was doing.
Yeah. Does it work on your computer, Carol? FaceTime? Or you haven't bothered trying?
I get incoming phone calls, but it's different.
Well, that's a feature of FaceTime is it will answer your telephone if you set that up in the FaceTime preferences.
So I get phone calls.
Yeah, if you happen to not be near your phone. If you do have all your devices with you and the phone rings, they all go off.
And it was working fine, but,
Yeah. And you were already signed out of iCloud. You signed in and it didn't help. You just have the weird problems, Rick.
Yeah.
Apple ID verification. Maybe that was your problem. Does it say? OS 9. That's an older one. On this particular response, it was at the Apple end. Sometimes you have to wonder, with 1 billion people using Apple devices, how big are their servers? And if 1/10 of 1% have problems, that's 1 million people. All right, another question?
I actually do have another question
Sure.
on photos.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how to explain it, so I'm just going to show you if that's okay.
Sure.
So if we use the photo, right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's say, like every year I do a calendar. So let's say I drag this picture over to, I was playing around with it today, new folder 2010, right? So
Mhm.
this picture went there. So then so I'm assuming that this is a copy now, correct?
Not exactly.
Okay.
Technically, it's an alias.
Okay.
So it isn't the real photo, but it points to the real photo. So if you delete it from here,
You
it
delete
won't,
it.
it won't delete it from your pictures.
Yes, it will.
Okay.
So if
Shouldn't.
I delete it from here, right? Delete one photo. Hit delete. Okay, then we come back over to where'd all photos go? All photos.
Think.
And it's gone.
It shouldn't leave that hole there.
So it becomes a problem because then if I want to put something
Oh,
over
that's
here
a
and have,
different picture. That's a picture of a
I don't
line.
know what that is. Yeah, but it's gone. Like the picture's gone that I just deleted.
Let's get rid of that one. It shouldn't when you delete it from an album. If you hold hold the Option key down, it deletes it everywhere. So let me try the same thing.
But doesn't it give you a warning?
My photo? No, it just did it. So this is a duplicate. I'm going to throw that into a small album. Go to the small album and delete it. Go back to the full album. It's still there. So it shouldn't do that when you create an album. it should stay in the photo list where it was. There's another one of those little pictures.
I don't know what that is. I just randomly keep it there.
Might want to rebuild your photos library.
How would one do that without losing all the photos?
Rebuilding should find all the photos it's missing. It shouldn't lose any. It's just a second. Hold down Option or Command while you open the Photos app. Let's see.
You
One
can
or-
sit that here if you'd like.
Actually, yeah, you can take over Rick's spot. We lost Rick.
Thank you.
Photos for Mac. Repairing your library.
What's your name, by the way?
Nancy,
And Bob.
nice to meet you.
Steve.
I'm Steve.
Hi, nice to meet
Hi,
you.
nice to meet you.
you.
Option and Command. When you
Okay.
open Photos.
So, and that's
And-
not going
and-
to delete any.
No, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to have a backup anyway, just
Okay,
in
so-
case.
Back it up,
Yeah.
but hit Option Command as I click.
The Photos app in the icon
Okay,
in the dock.
Option Command. Okay.
Now,
Now, how would I back up all of them?
Time Machine. I hate that Apple stopped putting the Time Machine icon in the menu bar, so now you have to turn that on separately. It's a program built into the computer called Time Machine that backs up to an external hard drive, and so you get an extra copy of all of your stuff.
So that's my
And,
time capsule, right?
Time Capsule is the hardware you can back up onto. So right now this is not set to do any backups.
Okay, so can we fix that?
You need to be connected to your network,
Okay.
and then your Time Capsule data drive would show there.
Okay. So when I get home, go ahead and set the Time Machine, set it to on.
Yep. And then pick your Time Capsule's data drive,
Okay.
and then it will do its backup. And then anytime you pull down the Time Machine menu, it will tell you when your last backup was.
Okay, so do that before I.
It shouldn't do anything, but you never know.
Okay.
So the other option, so if we do this, okay, yeah. The green plus means it's making a copy.
Okay.
Why is yours making a copy and mine doesn't? Mine is getting green. So it made a copy. Okay, yeah, it makes a copy. So when I hit delete, it deletes only that copy. It does not delete the original copy. So why did yours?
I don't know.
Let's see, let's duplicate that one just to be safe. So we'll drag this into
Like
here.
inside an album.
Yeah, we're in an album. We delete it from the album. We go back to Photos, and it did not delete it.
So maybe, yeah, I don't. But these are all separate albums. So if I delete a copy from one album, does it delete? So maybe that's
No.
like the difference, or
That's it. So this is an album called All Photos. So this is showing
Okay.
you all the photos in all your albums. This is showing you all the photos that may not be in albums too.
okay. So this would be
Let's
considered a copy, and if I delete a copy in one folder, it's automatically going to delete it in another folder.
No, it deletes it from the album. And since this is showing you albums, you've deleted it from the album,
Okay.
but you didn't delete it from the library.
But if
So
I
this is 14,344. And if we go down to here, it doesn't even count them anymore.
15,000.
15,011. So you have more photos because you've got faces and panoramas. You've got more in your all photos. So this is an album called All Photos,
Okay.
which is separate from your library of photos. So this is just showing you photos and albums, I think.
So if we come back up here, then that one photo that I deleted
Should be in the original.
should still be here.
Should still be there, yeah. If we can remember which one it was.
It's not, because it was one similar to this. There were two of these.
Let's try here. So let's duplicate it so it doesn't. If it does delete, we still have it.
That's on my phone anyway.
And we'll put it in here.
Mhm.
And we'll go here, and there it is.
Mhm.
And we'll delete it. And Go back, and
So it's
it's
still
not deleted.
it's not deleted in photos, but then if we come up to all photos where it also was, it is deleted there.
Because this is showing you your albums. It's not in the album anymore. So it's correct.
Oh, okay.
So it's correct.
Okay.
It's not in the album anymore. But it's still in your library.
So if we were to, let's pick this one. So if we took this one, and I'm going to put it into cards, delete it there, and then I'm going to put it into June 10th, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now if I go to June 10th, and I delete it here, delete, it should still be in cards, right?
Mm-hmm. That would be my guess.
Nope.
Go back to photos and let's see if it's still there. Oh, I gotta find it again.
Actually, it should be it should be at the end. And it's not in all photos either. Unless it's that little thingy there. No, because it would have been December 20th. That would have been the same time as these two.
If you delete a folder from an album, it should not delete it from the library. Do you have iCloud Photo Library turned on? Let's see. No. Okay. Blows that idea. So iCloud Photo Library stores all your photos in the cloud.
Okay.
And then when you delete one photo one place, it is deleted from every place.
Okay. And it'll tell me that on the iPad. If I delete it from the iPad, I'm deleting it from everywhere.
So you might have it turned on the iPad.
Yeah. Doesn't necessarily work, but...
It works best if you turn it on every device.
Okay.
But then you do have to then be wary that if you delete it from your iPad, it deletes it from the computer.
Okay.
Most people turn that off because it counts against your storage space.
Okay.
And so if it's on, you have to buy more storage.
I already get into that.
All right, so if you delete it, there's a recently deleted album, theoretically. What version is this? 101. So you don't even have the recently deleted album. If you hit delete, it deletes it from the album, but not the library. If you hit Command to delete, it deletes it from both the album and the library. Recent deleted at end of the time. I wonder if this is for the current version of Photos, which is 2.
So how would you update photos then?
I'm going to guess you're running an old OS.
I want to say...
Yes, you are. You're 2 versions behind.
Okay.
Current version is 10.12.
So even when I go to upgrades...
Well, that's it. It's an upgrade, not an update. So
Okay.
it won't show it under updates. You have to go into the App Store and find it under upgrades.
Okay, so that may be why it's not working right. Although it's never worked right, but...
That may be something they fixed in newer versions of Photos.
So... Then how do I get this again?
Go to the App Store. And then go to updates. Oh, got to join the Wi-Fi first. Do JCC Rock. That's the open one. And I have to agree. I agree. If you do something wrong, you're not going to blame the GCC. Okay, now you can close that window. And then go to updates. You might want to do this at home too, because it will take a while. And then upgrade.
Okay. Alright, and it'll upgrade me to Sierra?
Yep, which is the current version. What apps do you have? I see Office is okay. There was a 14.7.1 update for Office. Sometimes an OS upgrade can cause compatibility issues with other apps.
Okay.
So you update those apps first. But everything you're running, your Office version is okay. That was one of the big ones. Do you use Quicken or QuickBooks?
Mm-mm.
That's another one you always have to upgrade when you
Okay.
upgrade the OS too.
Because I ran an update, I think it was in December. Yeah. The security update was in December. Okay,
Yep.
so just you have to physically go in and do the upgrade. Okay.
Yeah. And they added that recently deleted album. So it stays in recent deleted for 30 days.
Okay.
So you can undelete it if you decide to. Again, do backup too before you
Okay.
do this, just in case.
All right, I got to get my phone right this time. 'Cause quite honestly, I'm not going to remember.
And there's the warning you should get. So if you delete all photos, it warns you it's going to delete from everywhere.
So it's not warning me, but that could be because I need to upgrade.
Right. They added that warning as a feature in the new version. It's always annoying when they change things. Especially when they change a major thing like deleting between versions. So they fixed issues that people reported in the old version. And they don't make the new app version available separately from the new OS version, which is frustrating.
And then you said once this is backed up, hit Command, Option.
Well, even before that, I do the Sierra upgrade first.
Okay.
Because then, after Sierra upgrade, you'll get the new Photos app.
Okay.
It will rebuild the library for you in the new version.
Oh, okay, so I don't need to do the Command Option.
Probably not. Nope.
Okay. Okay, so save that for home then, because it takes a while. Okay, and I've got that.
Yeah, it's got to download about a 4 gig file.
Okay. And there should be enough in there to do that.
Yeah. Well, that's the next question. How much space is on your drive? So do a get info on it. You have 360 free, so you're got plenty of free space.
Okay. Now, is there a way, because when we went past it, I saw it. Oops. So for the downloads, most of these I don't need. Is there a way to delete them other than individually dragging them over here?
You can select several at a time. If you open the folder, you can shift click each one, or you
Okay.
can click at the beginning and command click at the end of the list.
So shift click each one.
We'll select them all at
gathers
once. Yep. Or if you click at the beginning of the list and then shift click at the end of the list, it selects all of them between your 2 clicks.
I'm sorry, say that one more time.
Click. You're making a selection. So you click on the first one you want to select, and then shift click on the last one and it selects everything between your 2 clicks.
If you want to pick them a la carte, then you command shift.
Okay.
The command key will select non-adjacent ones.
So sometimes you might have a big list of them. You shift click to select them all, and
Yep.
then command click to deselect.
So I want all of
the
those, but I
individual
don't want
ones
to have
you
that
might
one
not
selected.
want. Right.
Okay.
If you don't want this one, you could command click on
Yep.
another one, and
And then
then you're not.
It removes
deleting
that from the
everything
selection.
Okay. That would be better.
Yeah, but download folder, typically you get, like I used to get a lot of Adobe Flash.
Every time you
Should
update it,
be
yep.
like 30 of them, you know, you can shift click and delete.
Get rid of
A
them.
new feature in Sierra is after you install something you downloaded, it asks if you want to delete the download.
Oh.
In most cases, it's fine. in the olden days, we would keep all our downloads because they took so long to download.
True, true.
But now high-speed internet has made that relatively fast.
Yeah, and I still have the Flash player up there from many years ago.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I can drag that to the. So you can either drag it to the trash, or you can do a secondary click and move to trash.
Okay. That was easy. Okay.
The trash still won't empty itself.
No, but that
So you can
that
always
I
go,
do every so
You can always go
often.
back into the trash and take something out if you need to,
I'll just empty it.
or empty it. Yeah.
Okay, I think that'll make sense.
Sure.
Was it shift empty? Does the secure empty?
They took secure empty out, especially with solid state drives. This is probably a spinning drive.
Yeah, it's probably still there.
No, it's a file. Empty and secure empty, yeah. So normally when you empty the trash, it tells the computer this space is available to be used for another file.
Okay.
It doesn't actually remove the file. It's still there on the hard drive. Until it's overwritten by another file, someone else can undelete it. Or you can
Okay.
undelete it yourself with the right software. So they added that secure option, so it overwrites the file with random noise so that the file is really, really gone.
Okay.
They removed that feature in later systems because on a solid-state drive, the way solid-state drives work, it randomly scatters data around the drive all by itself to help the drive not wear out.
Okay.
So when you delete a file, it doesn't exist in any one place anyway. So trying to overwrite, so by writing data, it doesn't overwrite the data anyway. It just writes different places on the drive. So it didn't really help any.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
And if you are worried about security, you can turn on whole drive encryption. That encrypts your entire drive. So then it is, when you delete a file, it's gone because it's noise on the hard drive.
Okay.
It does slow the computer down a bit because it has to encrypt it when it writes it and decrypt it when it reads it. And it makes the computer a little more vulnerable to crashing
Okay.
because everything is stored as random noise.
Yeah, I don't probably need
Most
to do
people
that.
don't need that turned
Yeah.
on. Yep.
Yeah, no.
Also, when a bit goes off, it needs the entire hard drive.
Yeah, because your hard drive is all stored as random noise,
Uh-huh.
if one bit changes,
Then the whole thing's done.
the whole thing's gone because it's not the right random noise
Okay.
that your password can unlock. There you go. Let me give you one of our
Okay.
flyers there.
Excellent.
This is the first time you've been here?
Yeah.
How did you know about it?
They sent in an email.
To JCC members?
Nice. We'll have to thank Joel for that.
Oh, where'd it go? Yeah, they
I'm a
put
new
it.
JCC member as of last week.
Oh, congratulations. Did you get your $60 off?
No, I got silver and vet. It's only $25 for the year.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That's good. Yeah. What was your question, Rick?
Is Skype still free?
Yes, Skype is free for the public. Businesses can pay for a version of Skype that does more.
I'd like to encourage you to come to our
We are
meetings to
a
listen to
little
meetings,
concerned,
meetings.
since Microsoft
Okay.
bought them, that
Go to
they've put back doors in it
Okay.
to get in.
Regular meetings on the second Wednesday of every month
Okay.
at East High.
The business version is
Okay.
generally written for group collaboration
Like 70 people.
and meetings with multiple people.
To like 25.
Okay.
So we need people.
Okay.
So you get 10 people for free, 250 people if you pay.
Okay.
So if you want 250 people in your meeting,
This is good. This is good for what that's.
if you want 11 in your meeting, you have to pay.
Like you wouldn't be able to do this
Yeah.
Okay.
at the main meeting, where you get presentations and news
And like different things you can do with the
and
Mac.
Yeah.
you meet the bigger community.
Okay.
So I encourage you to come to that.
Okay, that would be good actually.
And bring friends.
Okay.
Great.
Excellent.
I think we're getting close to 5 o'clock.
Getting close to 5, yep.
In
One.
about 8, 10
Any
minutes.
last question? It'll take a few minutes to shut everything down.
Oh, just a heads up. I clicked that Amazon Smile onto my browser,
Mhm.
Yep.
and I just now got a thank you from Amazon for
Mhm.
doing that. You
Yep,
know, it-
for supporting nonprofits,
acknowledgement.
yeah.
I didn't buy anything. I just, put it up there on the browser,
Mhm.
and then we have a link so that whenever you buy something from Amazon, first you
Mhm.
click on the Amazon Smile, and our club gets a
Okay.
pittance to
Yeah.
help us.
Yeah, since it's a 501c3 nonprofit, you get we get a donation for the for your purchase. It
Okay.
doesn't cost you anything,
Yeah.
but we get it.
yeah.
We get a piece.
I've done it for Parent Project Muscular Dystrophy, I think it was. One last very basic question. So when you know how when somebody sends a text and it comes across your main screen
Mhm.
and you reply from the main screen,
Mhm.
is it an issue with the phone or the like Verizon or AT&T that it doesn't always go through? Do you know what I mean?
Yes, and the answer is yes.
Okay.
It's a problem with the phone or your carrier.
Okay.
Generally
One of the two.
speaking, it would be in the connection to the internet.
Okay.
So if you're on Wi-Fi or cellular or swapping between them, it's generally a connection on the internet.
Okay. So it's really not the phone; it's the internet connection.
Most likely, unless it
Okay.
happens all the time with every
No, just
message, then
sometimes.
it would be the phone.
Yeah. Okay. Well, this was very helpful. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I do like Apple
I forgot to hit save, and it warned me that I didn't hit save. I ignored the warning. If you ignore the warnings, we're not responsible. I gotta add the smile to the text link. There we are. And now, update. There we go. So now that Amazon link has smile in it, and that one has smile in it.
So, they both,
So either one would
I
have
used
worked,
the lower
yeah.
one when I did it.
Yep. All right. Excuse me. I just about lost my voice, so it's a good time to end too.
So you guys,
Well, thank you very
Wednesday.
much. That
Yep.
was helpful.
You're very welcome. See how many websites I ended up opening.
Have a good week.
A lot. Thanks, you too.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm a sub. Like, the regular ones couldn't make it.
Is your name Carol also?
I'm sorry?
Is your name Carol also?
Yeah.
So it's everyone's has to be a Carol, right?
No, I'm sorry. No, my name's Joanne.
Joanne, oh, I'm sorry.
Because I do engage volunteering during the week. And
Yep.
when they sent an email out to everybody that they needed somebody today, I said, I'm available. And what I got back was, bring a book.
Well, thank you very much for coming.
Glad to do it. I just
That's
want to say thank you for coming.
yeah. We will quit everything down here. Stop streaming. I don't know where the stream went.